Hello, and thank you for choosing to learn more about youth-specific nutrition education. This presentation is presented by Complete Children's Health in collaboration with Always in Motion Nutrition. I'm Nicole Legler, registered dietitian, here to teach you more about protein needs and its impact on our muscular health. When starting the conversation about protein, I want to dive into the types of foods that give us protein. We have our animal-based and our plant-based proteins. All animal foods are going to give us protein sources. They come from things like chicken and poultry, beef, pork, seafood, dairy, and eggs, all giving us a significant amount of protein. Plant-based proteins are specific types of plants that also provide protein in different amounts. They're really helpful for vegetarians, vegans, plant-based individuals who choose to consume protein based on plant products. You're going to find a lot of proteins in plants such as beans, peas, lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products. And so, looking into the difference between the two, we have to talk about what is a complete versus incomplete protein. So, proteins break down into the building blocks called amino acids. And a complete protein contains what are called essential amino acids. And these 9 building blocks, these 9 amino acids, are essential that we get them from our foods because our body depends on them from outside food sources. We cannot make them on our own. So these essential amino acids are 9 different types of proteins that we must consume in our food to get to support our body. They are in all animal proteins. So whether that's eggs or chicken or seafood, all animal proteins contain all essential amino acids and therefore are called complete proteins, meaning they're completed with all the things that we need. Plant-based, however, plant proteins sometimes can contain all proteins, but also typically are missing some proteins. So our complete proteins that come from plants are quinoa, soy from tofu and tempeh, hemp or chia seeds, as well as buckwheat. But other types of plant-based proteins, not listed in that complete, are going to be missing an essential amino acid. So, for example, if you consume something like beans, which is a popular plant-based protein, it is going to be missing essential amino acids, meaning that we're going to have to obtain that from a different food source. So, having a variety of plant-based proteins is going to be really critical to ensure that you're getting all the right building blocks, those 9 essential amino acids from the foods that you're consuming. Most plant proteins are incomplete, meaning that they might give you some protein, but they're going to be missing certain amino acids. So making sure you have that variety in your diet is going to be key if you're having more plant-based style of eating. Looking into how much protein we need per day, similar to our other food groups, it's going to depend on your age and then eventually gender and size. So on your plate, looking at that My Plate in the corner, about a fourth of our meals should be containing protein. So depending on your age as well as gender, it's going to range on how much protein you need per day. Other things that might be considered outside of this range is if you are participating in any sports, if you're trying to build muscle or get stronger, you might need more or different amount of protein based on your needs as well as activity levels. So again, we are categorizing that protein in that common denominator we use in nutrition as ounces here, but that's not something that we might be looking into specifically at meals. So here's a couple easy conversions for you. So an ounce serving is going to be something like an ounce of meat. So you hear something like a 5-ounce fillet, for example. And so knowing that how many ounces you need, about a palm size is 3 ounces after you reach about age 10 to 12. If you're younger than that, your hand's a little bit smaller. That might be more like 1 to 2 ounces. So I always say for youth, use your palm as a great starting size. The older you are, the bigger your hand, the more protein you need versus the smaller your hand, and that's a general starting point. Of course, that can change based on growth spurts and different sizes, but that's a really good starting point is about a fourth of the plate or the palm of your hand for how much protein you should be consuming at meals. Other things that might be helpful is a deli sandwich. A slice is going to be similar to an ounce, an egg, a fourth a cup of tofu or tempeh, fourth a cup of beans, peas, lentils, or some nuts, seeds, and nut butters that you can be using for some plant-based protein. Looking into when you're consuming protein, it's important that we spread protein out throughout the day. Did you know that you can only absorb so much protein at once? So if you are going to eat a 8-ounce steak and you are 8 years old, you aren't going to be able to absorb all that protein in one sitting. Our body with protein kind of uses or loses it in simple terms, meaning that we can't really store protein like we can store carbs and fat. We use it for things like building muscles, cells, hormones in our bodies, but we can only do so much with it at one time. So typically for youth, we are ranging between anywhere from 10 to 25 grams of protein per serving. So if you're a teenager and you're looking to have protein shakes or add protein powders into smoothies and things like that, as you start to maybe have more interest in your nutrition, making sure that you're consuming an appropriate amount for your age as well as weight is going to be really important, that you're using all that protein you're consuming. So making sure you're spreading out that dosage throughout the day and having smaller servings more frequently is going to give you the best benefit with protein. So making sure that you do so not only gives you the best option for absorption, but it's also going to help keep you full throughout the day, keeping you full between meals and adding to that satiety, and also optimizes your muscle repair and building. Our muscles are breaking down and rebuilding all day long, not just around exercise. So making sure you're having protein at each meal and maybe even snacks is going to really help that body to use it constantly throughout the day versus having it in larger servings, only maybe once or twice throughout the day. So trying to have a small amount of protein at meals and snacks is going to keep you full and help your body to repair muscles and do its job most effectively. Looking into how it impacts the body as a whole, protein is most known for its muscle growth, and that's its absolutely key role, along with some other key parts in your body as well. Muscle growth being the most common thing that we know about protein, protein is really building up those muscles. So when it's breaking down to those building blocks, that amino acids in the body, making sure that the protein we're consuming is going to be helpful to build up those muscle tissues, to repair and build back your muscles stronger, especially after exercise. Protein's also used for a lot of other things in the body, though, such as immune system protection. So those building block amino acids are going to be really important in making sure that the proteins you're consuming are going to create these antibodies that help fight infection. So your body's natural ability to fight off bad germs and bacteria is going to come from antibodies, which are built from proteins. Other things that it's doing is also building and protecting our skeletal and skin health. So protein is going to be making sure that our bones and cartilage are protected, supported, built, as well as our biggest tissue in the body, our skin. Protein plays a key part in all of these systems, keeping your body functioning and growing in a healthy way. If you have any questions, let us know. And if you'd like to learn more about the other nutrients in our body, such as carbohydrates, fat, hydration, and other topics around youth-specific nutrition education, make sure you like and subscribe to learn more. Thanks.